begin with the latest on the child abuse case against NFL star Adrian Peterson. CNN's Miguel Marquez joins me with that. Miguel, great to see you. So tell us the breaking news tonight on this case.
Well, there's yet more information about another possible situation involving Adrian Peterson. This is another 4-year-old boy from a different mother. This is an incident that our affiliate KHOU is reporting on. CNN has not independently confirmed those accusations because there are some concerns with it. This has apparently happened last June, but I can tell you that Mr. Peterson's lawyer was very, very quick with a statement on this when I read a bit of that from Rusty Hardin, his lawyer. The allegation of another investigation into Adrian Peterson is simply not true. This is not a new allegation. It's one that is unsubstantiated and was shopped around to authorities in 2 states over a year ago, and nothing came of it. An adult witness adamantly insists Adrian did nothing inappropriate with his son. There is no ongoing or new investigation. Clearly a very tough and hard statement coming out tonight, trying to put the kibosh basically on this new allegation.
So Miguel, I don't have to tell you, this case has caused a huge debate on discipline today. What are the voices on each side saying? Well,
interestingly, there's even some more breaking news. For the first time, we've actually had a company, Radisson in this case, come out and say it is ending its limited partnership with the Minnesota Vikings over this. There is a great upset over the fact that the Vikings first deactivated Mr. Peterson and then reactivated him after only 1 game suspension. If you listen to ESPN these days, you have commentators like Chris Carter going after him, and Hannah Storm was almost crying on air. Amazing.
I spent this week answering seemingly impossible questions about the league's biggest stars. Mom, why did he do that? Why is he in jail? Why didn't he get fired? And yesterday, why don't they even have control of their own players?
Take them off the field. I don't care what. We're in a climate right now, I don't care what it is. Take them off the dang on field. Because you know what? As a man, that's the only thing we really respect. We don't respect no women. We don't respect no kids. The only thing Roger and them do, take them off the field. Because they respect that.
And I should make clear that Radisson is suspending its limited partnership, whatever that limited partnership is, not necessarily ending it. Mr. Peterson did release a statement today addressing the concerns that so many have. I have to live with the fact that when I discipline my son the way I was disciplined as a child, I cause an injury that I never intended. I also understand after meeting with a psychologist that there are other alternative ways of disciplining a child that may be more appropriate. I have learned a lot and have tried to reevaluate how I discipline my son going forward. But deep in my heart, I have always believed I could have been one of those kids that was lost in the streets without the discipline instilled in me by my parents and other relatives. Now, clearly that statement is exactly what is causing so much concern, the idea that in his head, what he did to his kid amounted to discipline and not abuse. Allison?
Such an emotional debate on both sides, so we'll get into all of that. Miguel Marquez, thank you so much. The NFL is struggling tonight to come up with a coherent policy on violence off the field in the wake of these allegations against Adrian Peterson and those against Ray Rice. But what are their guidelines? Do they even have any? Joining me now is victims' rights attorney Gloria Allred, Van Jones, CNN Crossfire host, and Judge Glenda Hatchett. She's the host of the Judge Hatchett Show and a consultant to the NBA and the NFL. It's great to have all of you with us tonight. Judge, let me start with you, okay, so you can help us understand NFL justice. It sounds like if you abuse a child, but you didn't mean to, you sit out 1 game. If you punch a woman, you sit out 2 games, unless there's some backlash, and then you sit out 6 games. But if there's video, you're suspended indefinitely. Do I have those guidelines right?
Well, I'm not here to try to defend them, and I'm actually consulting with the NBA on domestic violence pieces, and have done that for about 18 years. And this is a tough topic because I have been chief judge of a juvenile court of one of the largest juvenile courts in the country. I have seen literally thousands of child abuse cases, more domestic violence cases than I care to remember. And if you can imagine, and I've seen it a lot worse. But I think that the big problem that we're seeing, Allison, and I think everybody will agree to this, is that there is no coherent policy, and it seems to me that they are reacting now to whatever the backlash is and the media pressure.
Great point.
So, we saw one thing happen, and then the world saw the tape inside the elevator, and then we see another reaction.
Yes, and then they changed their policy.
And they changed the policy because there is not a coherent policy. The policy is being made up in the process of this national debate.
Great. I want to bring in Gloria.
Dangerous.
I want to bring in Gloria. Why don't they have any standard rule book for this stuff, Gloria?
Well, they don't have a standard rule book, and they just have a recent so-called policy, because they really haven't taken responsibility in the past. I think the NFL record, especially under Commissioner Roger Goodell, is abominable. There have been numerous reported incidents of violence against women. They have failed to give a number of suspensions that they should have given, failed to have a policy where players are actually being punished. They have numerous cop-outs and excuses for failing to do that. The fact that maybe the players have not been arrested, or that they haven't been prosecuted, or that they haven't been convicted is not a reason for them to get a pass. Because in the same way that with colleges have a duty to provide hearings to rape victims, to sexual assault victims, and to take action even if there is no prosecution, even if there is no conviction of the perpetrator. And that's what the NFL should also be doing to protect women.
On the flip side, Gloria, of course, in this country, people are innocent until proven guilty. Van, I want to pose this to you because the Vikings announced today that Adrian Peterson will play this Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. Here's what the team owner said in a statement, quote, "We believe this is a matter of due process, and we should allow the legal system to proceed so we can come to the most effective conclusions and then determine the appropriate course of action." Van, is that the right call?
Well, look, I'm for due process. I think everybody is for due process. The problem you have right here is that for due process to be due, there has to be a process. And right now what you have is complete chaos. And here's why. They have rules for everything that they care about. They have rules for field goal, everything they care about when it comes to sponsorships, deals, money, plays, training, everything they actually care about, they have rules for. They don't care about this issue, and so they're making it up. Now the danger is that because they are making up the rules, they change them every day, they actually are running into a situation where they could be violating due process rights for their players, and then you're going to have an even worse mess. And I think the bottom line is... I'm sorry.
Go ahead, very quickly,
I
Gloria.
want to just say, what about due process for the victims, for the women, for the children? Are they being afforded any rights, or is the NFL just concerned about due process for the players? I think, and I have information, that in some cases they've done inadequate investigations in the past, and that is why they have not given appropriate punishment. Are they going to take full responsibility? Are they going to fess up? Are they going to say what their record has been in the past and that it has failed these victims? Or are they just going to do a face-saving about-face by retaining so-called, experts and saying we'll do better in the future without acknowledging what they have failed to do in the past?
Judge, hold your thought for a moment. Gloria Allred, thank you very much for your perspective. Van, hold your thought. So where does your right to discipline your child end and abuse begin? Does your answer depend on where you live and the color of your skin? We'll debate that.